The year is 2019.
Would roses bloom again?
I'm 12 years old and I've just watched a movie that would change the next few years of my life. It came out in 2017, but I was late to the trend like I am with most things. But before I had even touched that TV remote, I can assure you I was already deep into the fandom. From a young age, I've had a fascination with horror and all things paranormal. Yet, as much as I loved them, as soon as it got close to bedtime, I was terrified. And it feels shameful to say it, but for many nights, I slept at the foot of my parents' bed, watching as their alarm clock struck 3 a.m. and wondering if that meant Slender Man was coming to get me. But one thing I can say with confidence is that Pennywise never really struck fear into me. What did scare me are the various things he manifests himself as. Each kid in the Losers Club is unique, and that's something that gives the story its flavor. I think that's what made me feel so connected to it as a kid. Stephen King really has a knack for making fictional childhood look just so realistic. And we can see the same thing and we can get the same feeling out of Stand By Me, especially that quote at the end of the movie. To me, it seems like 12 is the age I reminisce on the most. You're teetering between infancy and your teenage years, and so there's just something heartbreakingly beautiful about that. Around ages 3 to 4, you're supposed to start developing memories, but for me, I've started to struggle to think back that far. I can remember things like my first pet or going to the fair and being utterly consumed by all the flashy bright lights, but the memories that hold the most weight to me, the ones that I can picture so vividly, are the memories made with friends. It's March 2020, and my best friend Cole is staying over for the weekend. We're Southern kids, so a great majority of our time is spent in the woods. We would build forts or tell each other stories. My mom gets a call from school saying that it'll be canceled for an extended period of time due to COVID. So, what do? We go off into the woods, skipping like little girls as we sang a dumb chant. We had stayed out for a while, and then chose the long walk back. The sun beat down on us, and I can still feel the disappointment in my sweaty hands when my mother fixed us a steaming hot meal. All is forgiven afterwards when we jump into my freezing cold pool and chat for hours, my mom peeking out the window to make sure neither of us had drowned. The next day we spent it in a huge mud puddle. The whole time we kept pushing the limits on how muddy we planned on getting until eventually, we were both covered. So, the walk home this time felt even longer than the last, and we were weighed down 50 pounds more with all the mud stuck to us. Both of us had to hold up our shorts to keep them from falling until we got to a water hose. And I sit here and I ask myself at 17, what was so important about that weekend? How can I feel it? Feel the mud on my skin and how hot the sun was? And the truth is, it's all because I spent it with a good friend. To me, watching it feels like watching my childhood. Did my little brother's arm get bit off and there's a clown that feeds on fear chasing after me and all my friends? No. But during my adolescence and even now, I still feel like I'm right there with the characters. Their awkwardness and overuse of curse words feels so relatable, like they're pulling a 12-year-old version of yourself onto screen with them. They're not perfect and there's no overuse of romance or flowery language. The characters are simply human, and that's what's so loved about them. Now, I've decided I'm not going to sit here and deeply analyze stuff on some quote-by-quote level, that's just not my strong suit, but there are 2 more things I want to bring up, but you can feel free to end the video here. Okay, and now that all the normal people are gone, let's talk about whatever sick crap is going through Stephen King's head. And if you've never seen the It book, I want you to picture in your head a massive red brick. I pride myself on reading and pretending like I'm an intellectual. See, I can't even say the word. But I cannot for the life of me make it through this book. And I toted it around in my school bag for nearly a year when I was in 6th grade. But I don't think I ever made it past chapter 1. Last summer, I sat myself down. And you know what I told myself? I'm gonna read this book. Then what I do? Never finish it. I did, however, break it in half on accident. So now it's held together by duct tape and hope. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about whatever substance Stephen King was on when he wrote this. See, most people bring up the disgusting... Can I even say that on here? Anyway, there's a scene where kids do inappropriate stuff that had absolutely no reason to be in the book. Now, Stephen King claims that this was to symbolize their bond, but he is such a talented author. How in the world could you not have done this better? I mean, the scene where they get blood bonded and they're holding hands, it just makes so much more sense. I've seen people try to justify it online, saying how it's symbolism, and of course it still means something, but I don't think it should have ever been published. And that's all I'll say on that topic, because I honestly don't believe I'm educated on it enough to give you guys a full rundown. But if you want to hear more about that, I highly recommend you check out a different video, because I'm sure people have talked about it. My reason for revisiting it this month wasn't just to reminisce. If you haven't heard already, there's going to be a prequel coming to HBO soon called Welcome to Derry. And when I first heard about this and watched the trailer, I felt disappointed. My friends and family are pretty hyped for it, but for some reason I haven't cared as much. In the making of this video, though, I think I realized why. I'm worried it won't hit the same. And you know what? I'm almost certain it won't. And that's not to say I think it'll be bad. I think I just won't be able to connect with it like I did with the 2017 movie. But I will admit, I've found excitement in waiting for it to come out now. I just got so hell-bent on the idea that nothing will ever compare without even trying to give this new series a chance, and that is not fair. It's not fair to the story, nor the new cast of characters who I'm sure had fun working on the series, just like the main cast did. We have to remember not to get hung on the past so that we can keep up with the present. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you had fun watching it, and if you did, you should consider subscribing.